Hi guys, it's Kiana again. Click the thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell. Bye!
You are now listening to the Re-Education Podcast.
Audrey, because you're from Holland, like, you still represent a Black woman. You represent a Black woman that may not have been born in the UK, but you're still a Black woman. It's only because you work in the UK why you would want to have that kind of similarity and that thing in common with the I guess the women or clients that you work with here. But you still represent, each of us here right now in this episode, we all represent 4 unique, different, talented Black women, and we represent, like, we show up when we're in the room. We show up and we show out. Some people are not really used to confident Black women all the time.
That's too bad.
as we know, it's not our problem.
We don't need their permission, so
you just preached my message. That's why I love the topic of confidence. That's why I love being a coach, full stop. I think being a coach is actually a way of being.
Absolutely.
I believe I was always a coach, but I discovered that I was a coach. So I went through a journey. I always was asking questions. I love the power of great conversation and listening and asking questions. I've always had this. You always ask great questions. And don't do this, ladies, don't do this. So I became so obsessed with coaching. I was on a date, okay, and I was so hungry to coach.
Oh, God.
I asked the brother, so what is your purpose? How do you know this is true? And I was in a coaching session. It was basically a coaching session. And I said, Nelly, no, let's launch your business, because this is just, this is too much. The brother is just being bombarded with questions like, what is your purpose? Where are you going? And how do you know this thought is true? So I believe coaching is a gift. And I think it's a gift that needs to be cultivated. I really believe in the power of coaching and the power of confidence. There is so many Black women and Black men who don't have confidence. They may not admit it.
Absolutely.
We may hide behind, different attitudes. Sometimes when you see people acting a certain way, and there's a lack somewhere, there's a hurt somewhere. So confidence is key, and that is my message, and that is what I coach. Bring the confidence out to people, and I love it, and I'm thankful for that gift every day.
And I think as well with confidence, and I want to say this because I get this, you're naturally confident, I can see that, and then so am I. But that doesn't mean we never have any wobbles. And I only say that because people constantly ask me that. Oh, do you never have any doubt? And I think, what? I'm an absolute wreck half of the time, mate, because I'm always doing inner work, But it's, it doesn't, like, confidence. Because I wanted to say that I don't think that's what you meant when you said it, but I noticed that where people's mind go when they think about confident, I will be confident all the time, like Will Smith or something. We don't even know what Will Smith's like behind closed doors.
What he's thinking.
Yeah,
he's in entanglements.
Business.
He's in entanglements. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. But confidence is an ongoing journey,
Exactly.
When we show up, I do it scared.
You know it all the time. I'm terrified all the time.
I do it scared, but it's about courage. It's about courage. You feel the fear, you do it anyway.
Yes,
absolutely.
It doesn't mean you're not scared. When I do these videos, it's not easy to get out there all the time, showing up all the time. But when you believe in yourself, you got that core belief, that confidence. It overrides the fear, because you make a choice and say, I'm going to show up. I feel scared. Yeah. I may be trembling inside, but I'm showing up. So I think it's so powerful. I think it's so powerful. And I think the Black community needs it. Yeah. Look what we've been through this year alone. Everyone, look what we've been through this year. And as Black people, look at what we've been through. I've had clients who went from being GMs to being demoted to director, went from earning a certain amount to getting half their salaries? How do you do with your confidence? You know, what do you do when you don't know what your career is going to look like now? You don't know where you are now. So these are the times these are the real struggles that people are facing. And as Black people, now more than ever, we need to dig deep into our confidence. We need to love ourselves. We need to show up. We need to do the inner work. That's the only way we're going to be able to really represent ourselves in the best light, be the best versions of ourselves, and really thrive.
And I think that for me, there's a piece around worth. And I think in a year like this year, because why I'm bringing this up is because my confidence, I don't think it comes from me. It comes from something else. It comes from somewhere else. It comes from some sort of higher power. I'm not religious, but I really believe in the power of my soul. You know, I believe in something bigger than myself guiding me, because there's so much proof now and track record. And anytime I want to do something, it's usually pretty rubbish and small. And then this thing's like, no, you're wrong. We're going to do this instead. So I faithfully listen to that, you know, my soul. And then things happen. You're like, raw, okay. So I think there's something around, that's what I was saying earlier around, for me, it's bigger than the individual, because we're plugged into systems. And we're plugged into a system that says you have self-worth because of X, Y, Z. When the reality is you have worth, end of. You have worth because you are, end of.
You're enough.
That's it, just it. You don't need, not because of this or that, not because you're a good mum, not because you got this qualification, not because you earned this much, not because you lived there. Because this was the year, wasn't it? Because I'm with you, Nelly. I've had the same with certain clients, and I've been like, oh, rah. These people's lives and worth have been very dependent on these external things. And this year, when the shit's all crumbling down, I tell you what weren't crumbling down, my soul. So you might as well, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, if your worth is outside of you based on those things, you've got a problem. And then we're in a system that fundamentally says we are wrong. By the laws of the system of white supremacy, we are wrong, we are bad. We internalize that at every turn, right? And so that's a really real thing. And so then you can get into like, sometimes unworthiness looks like lots of qualifications and lots of money and lots of material success. But that sense of self-worth, when you have it inside, when you can really land it in yourself, and that's an unlearning, that you're worthy because you exist, end of. The game changes, man. Oh, completely changes.
Agreed. From what I've noticed, first of all, confidence is deep work. When you see a confident woman like myself, or like Lola, or Simone and Audrey, know that there's a lot of work that has gone into this. People don't see, you know, the traumas. They don't see the struggles that we've had to overcome as individuals. But these struggles were gold. I see them as gold, because they set us up to be great.
Yeah.
I love to share my story that I had my son at 15 years old. I'm from Paris, came to the UK. I did not speak one word of English. Had my son at 15 years old. And it was the confidence of my mother, and she's a very spiritual woman, who since birth it was just confidence. That's it. Excellence. That's it. So I was born with that. I was just born because that's all I know. Confidence, excellence. That's it. I don't see anything else. But that hit me hard. So I had to make a decision. You're going to be a statistic, or you're going to thrive. So I had said to my baby in my belly, I was 14, and I said, we're going to be great. We're going to succeed. And prophesied the life I'm living right now. But that took confidence. It took going through a really difficult journey, doing the inner work, having a vision, and knowing my own self-worth as an individual, as a Black woman, as a woman, and steadying on that, no matter the adversity. And I think that's why people need to really, I encourage them to do that, to do the inner work. I think the people who are thriving in this crisis are the ones who have done and are continuing to do the inner work. Because when you have a solid foundation, you're still thriving. I can say in 2020, I've thrived more than ever. I really have. I'm not sad or depressed. I'm so happy right now. Like, let's go, because the inner work has been and continues to be done. So I really encourage everyone, ourselves and everyone listening, to really tap into that self-confidence and tap into that self-love. And I love what you said, Lola, about it's much bigger than ourselves. But we all have to find our own truth, and we all have to stand on our own truth. So yes, that's my message. I just wanted to just say that, because I'm so inspired.
Thank you. And I just want to add, for those listening right now, you don't have to go on this journey alone. There's 4 coaches on this episode right now, and all of the links to each of these women's websites and Instagrams, YouTubes, you will find down below. So get in touch. There's tools that I know Nelly has some tools on the website, and you can get the links through her Instagram. Like Lola you've got your videos where you share like your thoughts, and you've got your quotes that you put up that are really inspiring and kind of gets you thinking. And I love seeing I just love your logo. Like, I see that crown, I see the curls of the hair, I see the eyelashes, because you know me, I like my eyelashes. I'm like, yeah, okay. When I see that pop up on my timeline, I'm like, yep, I need to read this, or I need to watch this. I need to.
This is the thing, like when I was listening to both you, Nelly, and Lola, like one thing, what just happened as well, Nelly, by like what you said about like the confidence, but also by like being vulnerable, right? Like you just sharing your story and yeah, just being vulnerable. And I think if I look at, like when I think about the discussion we're having today and showing up as a Black woman, but then also as ourselves and being authentic, like one thing that I noticed about myself and the women that I'm focusing on right now is that besides the color of our skin, there's also a part that we're not talking about. And one of the things is vaginismus is when women have a really tight muscles where no penetration is possible or is painful. So let's say the moment that when women have the first time we have sex, that we always say, oh, that might hurt a bit, right? But within medical forms or within our friends or with our mums or anyone, we never really discuss of what that is. And while growing up for a long time, I've had it myself. And it's been, of course, forming me in a different way, in the way that I see the world or how I see relationships or how I see sex in general. And even though in my late 20s begins, or let's say in my 30s was the first time that everything just started normally. But what happens is that a lot of women lose their self-worth because of this, because we don't talk about it. We don't talk about any issues regarding sex or regarding, it's like a hush-hush type of conversation. And this is a thing, like right now, there is many more women coming out with stories and making really awareness there about what it is, so that when we have our sisters or our friends or anyone that they don't have to suffer in silence, because a lot of women will put their life on hold. They will be, have like a lot of pain, or they will not start any relationships, or they will be afraid that they won't be able to ever have children, and they lose their confidence in that. As I've gone through my own journey, I've noticed a part of where I would wish that I would have had, like, one, I was doing it mostly by myself. There was no support group, and I thought I was unique, as I mostly thought that I was in general, but I wasn't really unique because no one was talking about it. It was just everyone suffering alone. But now there's more support groups, and because sometimes GPs don't even know what it is. There's more support groups and more women supporting each other, but there's a lot over here in the UK. It's different than in the Netherlands. So my path was different. But the part that I thought was mostly needed was the moment that women jump through all the hoops on the medical way, they are sent home to go and practice, but they're by themselves in their own head. And how are you going to tell yourself that it's going to be okay? right? How are you going to tell yourself that you're worthy of love, or how are you going to tell yourself that you know, that it won't happen again because it's a spasm, so things might not always work. So so I just actually yesterday finished my first pilot coaching program, and it's been amazing. Like I had 4 women for 3.5 months going through like confidence coaching, but focus on this specific topic. And it's been amazing because they've literally, their self-worth had gone up massively, but also grabbed like the bull by the horns in a way, by things that they have put away for so long, that they actually started looking at that and taking steps and taking action. So it's been, when we talk about purpose and fulfillment and all that, like for me, that has been my thing, like, because I always wanted to do it, but I never knew where I could find them. So now I've found women, and now it's time to keep rolling with that. But yeah, so that's when I say, when you talk about self-worth, if we talk about ethnicities, like for me, it's everything in one, really, because I'm putting myself out there talking about these subjects that no one really always want to hear, or no one knows what it is as well. Yeah, so that's the reason why I was a bit quiet, because I was like, yeah, in my head, but then also being like, yeah, but then also. So yeah.
No, thank you so much, Audrey, for sharing. Not only with us here, but for the people listening.
I'm literally putting my face online for this, and I get emails from people saying, oh, thank you for it, because everyone's doing it without having their face. So a lot of things are anonymous because no one wants to talk about it. Yeah. Right. So it's like, for me, I'm like, I'm already here. So, and if it's going to be me with that, or not anymore, because I'm okay now, but if I have to represent all these women, then I'm representing all these women. And if they're black, brown, white, purple, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm representing for that specific group.
Amazing.
I'm representing that right now.
Amazing. And I just want to highlight that each of you here have a fully passionate mission and vision in the work that you do. Like, we're not sitting here just doing, I do coaching because it's easy, or, it means that I can have a flexible lifestyle. Like, you're doing this for some real substantial reasons, and you are supporting and helping the growth of individuals.
And I literally heard myself say over the past few months, if I will stop coaching tomorrow after the workshop that I've just done, or the program that I've just done, like, I would die a happy woman, really. Aww. Just by what I've done so far. Like, and the 2 big things, if I think about coaching, my coaching journey was, 1, coaching with young males in prison, because that was one of the things that I wanted to do a few years ago. And then this, right? So I'm like, if I stop tomorrow, I feel I've did part of my purpose, and then maybe another one will come, and that will be something completely different than coaching, but I hope I can keep on doing it, right? So that's how I feel about it.
Beautiful.
Well done, Audrey. Well done.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's purpose.
That is some amazingly inspiring purpose. All 3 of you, really, you do amazing things in the coaching industry. I wanted to ask if you're aware, if anybody really is aware of I say tribe because that's the word that I hear a lot in the coaching world, you like to say a tribe, but is anybody aware of a tribe or a network of either Black coaches or Black female coaches?
I have a group that I've been a part of this year. It's a Facebook group. I love it. It's called the Women of Colour Entrepreneur Group. And the lady that runs it is called Giselle Allen, Gieselle, Allen, Allen. She's based in the States. But her group's phenomenal. It's a really cool group. She's got podcasts as well. She's really keen on the whole decolonization, and because really I think that it's becoming more and more apparent that if we're not decolonizing consciously, we're not really doing anything anymore. We have to take this out of us. Everyone does, we're going to bring these systems down from the inside out. So I like that group. And then not just the mission, because I'm fussy, I've got quite high standards. She holds the group really well. You know, she's got the depth, she's got the embodied inner work, you know, how I kind of like my peeps. So yeah, I'm really loving her work for sure. So that's the only one I'm aware of. I've got my own little merry band of coaches that I kind of, you know, in communication with, but yeah, check it out. And the podcast, I think it's called Revolutionary Rising.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's fab, really good.
Definitely check out that group and the podcast. Thank you. Anybody else know of a tribe or network of Black coaches, Black female coaches?
So like I've been trying to find the name, and I wasn't really sure if it was specifically focused on female coaches. So whatever I had in mind, you might have to wait for me to find it, because I couldn't find it. Couldn't find it anymore, because it was more because there was an event recently that I attended, and let's say there were a lot of like Black women in general, but also like entrepreneurial, like different professions, but there were a lot of coaches on that call. But I have to just do some checking up on what the actual name was, and if it was a one-off as well.
Don't worry, guys, the information should be below, or reference to the information that may or may not be there will be below. Don't worry.
Yeah, we need more spaces. I see that from Giselle's group, to be fair. I actually have my own group, Step Into Your Sovereignty, on Facebook. It's not exclusively women of colour at all, because for me it's I acknowledge I'm a woman of colour, and I like speaking to other women of colour, and if that message resonates with anyone else, great. You know, because we need allies to the cause, and I do love an ally, a proper ally, not some rubbish ally that thinks they're allying and we ally. That is not an ally. But you know, the proper allies, the ones that are doing the work again, you know.
Yes.
So stepping into your sovereignty is very much about, you know, moving from the conditioning to the truth. And again, it's that whole decolonization lens, because that's what it is, isn't it? When a country yeah, exactly, when they decolonize, they come back into their own sovereignty, don't they? Yeah, but we need more. I know, I'm aware. I'm like, we need good groups, we need community, and you know, there's reasons why we don't have that as well. There is a mistrust, you know, we're in internalization of, so I'm saying these things have to be addressed.
Yes.
Because that's what shows up on the surface. Is like, how come we haven't got communities? And it's like, you know, there are some things to unpack around the inherent mistrust sometimes of us and stuff. We've been taught that. So it's, for me, I like the conversation to have more nuance than it tends to have. I'm not really down for this. We all need to be together. Yeah. It's like, no, hold on. We have grown up with our mothers slagging off their friends as soon as they put the phone down. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I love you. You know, in internalizing all this kind of mistrust and whatever, there's some issues, and we've all got our own individual things to clean up, but I say yes to more community for sure.
Nelly, did you have anything to add on that?
No, I think it just shows that there's a call to create it, since we are struggling to name groups here, so that means there aren't as many as we need. So I think it's a call to create it, create more for us. And I think that, again, it goes back to our point, right? Us being visible, us being on our purpose, and unite. I agree with the mistrust, and these are all limiting beliefs and all conditioning even that we have in our community. But just like we also have been past, you know, I call it generational curses. I know it's a strong word, but there's also generational blessings. And I think we need to tap into the richness of who we are as beautiful Black queens. We need to continue to own our purpose, own who we are, own our work as coaches, continue to be the best we can be in our crafts, and unite and support one another. I think that's how we're going to see change, and that's how we're going to see growth.
Yes. This has been amazing. I can't tell you how much it's just been inspiring and motivational listening to you all. And it makes me definitely want to do more, because I see this podcast as facilitating conversations that create awareness and bring experiences, knowledge, skills, all of that to the forefront, to help educate others, to help people see things from different perspectives. But also it gives the opportunity for other people to broadcast and promote exactly what it is that they do. And I know that there's going to be DMs, there's going to be emails, there's going to be comments on the contact form on your websites. Like, and I just love the fact that you're all here and we're having this conversation together. Yeah. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining and sharing your thoughts, your experience, your knowledge, your wisdom, your purpose, your passion, like everything. You've just thrown it all on the thrown it all on the episode and be like, yes, soak that up.
Thank you for creating the space, Simone, for us to be able to do that, you know, and thank you for my kind words, Elia.
You are definitely welcome.
It's a great platform and you're doing great work. So continue on your journey, continue to grow, to build. And, you know, this podcast is representation.
Exactly.
So yeah. I'm very proud of you and I look forward to see the growth of this amazing platform.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Simone.
I can't thank, I honestly, I can't thank you. It's just been beautiful. I love that this is the first, this is the first round table that I've had with just females. And it also highlights Black professionals, Black female professionals. And I think for those in an ignorant state of mind and just feeding into stereotypes, that whole concept in whoever's mind that is, for whether they're from our community or outside, has just been shattered. It's just been shattered. But that's not what I see on TV, but that's not what I hear on the radio, but that's not what I see here, but that's not what I hear. Yeah,
that's powerful. It's powerful. That's what we're talking about the power of representation. It's when we step as our best selves, you know, and I'm a lover of femininity as well. And there's
hell yeah.
There's something about being a beautiful, feminine Black woman. There's something about that just, it just, people just don't even know where to look because they've been conditioned to think that being Black is masculine, or we have to be struggling and we have to be no. Okay, this is not how we roll here. We roll with gentleness, we roll with femininity, we roll with purpose, we roll with building wealth, we roll with confidence, we roll with high standards, we roll with being a version of ourselves. That's how we roll. And I think that's what people see when they step into our presence. Yes. And it blesses people. So I think there's power in that, and there's power in this representation, because then it eradicates the negative connotations and negative thinking that people may have, because then when they meet us, they're like, oh, I didn't know. Yeah. But now you know. Now you know, and that's what's going to stay. So
yeah. Yes. You've got to have us back, Simone. You've got to have us back. And I've got to say as well about the feminine thing, because that's a big, fundamentally at the heart of everything I do I'm more about feminine energy. All of the issues that I think we face is the marginalization of the feminine energy. And for me as well, that's being colonized too, you know, because when you feel your real force of like what my feminine energy like births worlds. Yeah. I'm not unknown namby-pamby floating around the freaking place like a fairy nonsense. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's all of this. It's kind of like all of the reclaiming of all the stuff that's been taken away from us. And but the spell's broken. I really know. I can feel that. The spell's broken. People are waking up.
It's broken, and we have to speak that. We have to speak blessings. We have to speak positivity. We have to speak love. We have to be open to love. We have
to heal our wounds though as well.
We have to heal.
Yeah, we have to heal.
Grow. We have to know our worth as a collective. So, and I think that there's beauty, and as women, our power is in our femininity. I love being a feminine woman. I believe in being the best versions of ourselves, and I honor my own femininity because I believe it's God-given. So I love this. I love this conversation. So thank you, Simone. Thank you, Lola and Audrey, for this.
Thank you, ladies.
And Lola, you asked, you said about having you back. I was trying to keep it a bit of a surprise. For my next season, I'm actually going to be inviting people to do the re-education takeovers. So you get to present your own, you present the idea and the topic of discussion. Ooh. You can reach out to guests, or I can get guests for you. You come up with the questions and you do the interview / conversation
on it
yourself. And hopefully at that time we can actually be recording in person. So I'll just be behind the scenes whilst I let other people take the wheel.
That's great.
Oh, nice.
I love that concept.
Because I want to, like I said, I want to be able to provide the opportunity for people to come in and do their thing. This is not about me. It's bigger than me, and I won't stop saying everything I do is for my children and their future.
Yes.
So I have to start that ripple effect now. So as they get older, as they have their children, as their children have children.
Generational blessings.
It's just, wow. This is for us. For us, by us. Bring back FUBU.
It's legacy. You have to think legacy.
Yes. Yes.
But why bring
that
FUBU
means
into it?
What happened to FUBU?
Why bring FUBU into it? You just spoiled it. It was all lovely and high vibe, and then FUBU.
It's because I said for us, by us.
I know, I get it.
But again, ladies, thank you so much. Please now share your socials and any lasting words that you want to share. Audrey, want to go first?
Wow, like I was literally just thinking about what is it that I still want to share. I'm like, I'm a bit tired. It's like, what I'm gonna say. I'm so sorry. So yeah, no, but you can
speak from the soul.
I will speak from the soul. I first want to thank you as well, Simone. Like, it's been amazing just to have this conversation and the flow that it's been in. So that's really just nice. And I think I've been just enjoying to listen to you, Lola and Nelly, as well. It just warms my heart. But yes, you can find me under audreycairo.com, really. I think that's the best place to find me, and you can always reach out via email or find me on Instagram on Let's Call V for if you want to have more information about vaginismus as well.
Thank you. Lola?
So you can find me, everything's under Boss Ass Living. So bossasliving.com, BOSSASS living.com. That's also my Instagram handle at Boss Ass Living. And that's where all of everything, you can just find things through there. But I suppose my final thought is, I want to say, like, we've been through a lot, regardless of how we've coped with it, regardless of how we have chosen to survive and thrive, and we've done phenomenally, but that just speaks to the black girl magic that we all have.
Yes.
But we have been through a lot, and I agree, the struggles are manure. You know, that's how I see it. It's like manure. It's not shit, it's manure.
Fertilizing us.
There we go. So I'm obviously not an actual gardener, but I've heard. But yeah, we need to heal. Like, it's real. The healing is real. That needs to happen. I'm aware of that. And things don't just disappear until someone has to stop, and someone has to say, this stops here with me. And that pain, the wounds, it has to be transmuted. has to be changed into something else. Like, that is our power. Our power is not in getting rid of things and rejecting things. That's not real power. It's in integrating and owning and digesting, processing. And it's not just your stuff. It's been coming down for a while now. And I agree, yes, but there are ancestral blessings as well, beyond the wounds. There's a whole line of ancestors behind us, but personally, in my experience and with clients, I've noticed it's the more recent ones were pretty wounded by all the shit that's been going down, right? But before that, but the wounding has to be healed for you to access that.
And guys, if this is really not like, if you're not fully deep in what Lola just said, now well for you, I'm joking. I'm joking. This is your chance. Like, go follow Lola right now. Press pause, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you are, press pause, go to Instagram and follow Lola right now. Follow Audrey right now. And just get familiar with the content that these women are putting out. Also, go and follow Nelly. Like, these women are dropping you gems just on a day-to-day, as well as providing a service. Like, please, that's my call to action for you all. Please, just go follow and your life will change.
Can I just say that nobody has ever said on any other interviews, now what for you all? No one's ever said that before. I love it.
Don't do the quote after that.
Just stop.
Prayer and fasting after this. What Simone just said.
Sorry, Nelly, please go.
Yes, so you can find me on Instagram at Nelly Alessa Coaching. My website is nellyalessa.com, and I'm also on YouTube at Nelly Alessa, where I drop weekly videos on confidence building, personal development, and career tips that will help you boss up in your career and live a fierce and confident life. And my final words would be hearing what Simone has said, what Audrey has said, and what Lola has said. Really, the one thing remains is for every listener to make a choice. To make a choice about who you want to be. Where are you now? Who are you now? What do you want to change? And what also are you grateful for? Because we've come in such a long way. And I think it's so important to celebrate and to pat ourselves on the back and say, you know what? I've come a long way. If you come through 2020 with everything that's been happening, please celebrate yourself. Please show yourself love, because it has not been easy for anyone. So those are my final words. Make a choice, know your worth, choose yourself, choose to be confident, and leave a legacy for those after you.
Yes. And on that note, thank you again. Guys, thank you for tuning in and listening to this episode. Please be sure to follow, to subscribe to YouTube, Instagram, websites. Like, get in touch, get involved, drop a comment below and share your thoughts on how you found this episode, and get in touch. Like, this journey of self-discovery, self-confidence, self-love, and, just finding your way on the path that you're destined to be on. You don't have to do it alone. There's people here that can support you. Like Lola said, really call on those allies, find those allies, and rock with them. Rock with them. So guys, thank you for tuning in. And as I always say, I look forward to continuing to learn and grow with you all. Bye.
Bye.
Hi guys, it's Keanu again. You're listening to the Re-Education Podcast.